In order to gain access to the bolt, we need to remove the plastic housing as well as the heel guard. In order to remove the cover, rotate it forward. Next, we're going to remove this plastic cover. We want to make sure that this frame is clean, because this is where one of the mounts is going to be. In the kit, you're going to get 2 rubber strips. You need to measure them 4 centimeters, make a marking, and cut both of them. The extra at the end, you need to discard. In the end, you're going to end up with 4 strips. These are going to be here to protect the paint. These are the clamps that are going to be secured to the frame right here. They come in 2 pieces, and the rubber strips are going to fit right in here. So my recommendation is clean this surface with alcohol so that we can get better adhesion. Okay, let's put the rubber strip. To get it in, you can grab it from the top like this, squeeze it so that it can conform to the shape better. Come in the center, just like that. Now, this extra, I suspect that we might have to cut it or trim it, but we will find out once we attach it. So this is how it's going to go. Regarding the extra over here, I opted to trim it. You can use a razor and just come in gently, be careful, and get it flush, just like that. Start with a small one up top, get it in position, and get the larger one that's going to come in from underneath. You do have a couple of pipes back here, so be mindful of that until you get it to sit flush with the frame. With the Loctite on, we can thread the bolt through. Right now, it's just finger tight because we're still going to have to move things around when we're going to install it down here. We're going to repeat the same process on the left side. On this side, you want to push down the radiator hose. Just come down a little bit. There are some cables behind it. Make sure you clear them. Do not pinch them. Don't forget the Loctite. The next thing we need to do is remove the lower engine mount bolt, which is right here. And what we need to keep in mind is that this bolt runs from side to side, and there's going to be a lot of strain on it, and it's going to cause issues with trying to pull it out and put the second one in. So my recommendation is you do need to find a way to support the engine from the bottom. I'm using the air shim because it is soft and it doesn't put pressure on a single point and risk cracking the belly pan. This is a 14 millimeter socket. You can use the end of the extension to hammer it out. Use a rubber mallet. Don't forget to get the washer out, and then continue to push it through to the other side. Keep in mind, there's a spacer right here. So now we're through, and the only thing that is holding the spacer is this hex socket. So once we pull this out, I don't know, can you see? Yep, it's right there. And this is the bolt coming through on the other side. So just pull it through. You see how when you take the weight off the engine, how easy it is to pull this through? And you have another spacer right here. Make sure you support it so it doesn't fall, and just pull it out. Now it's time to attach the guard. Keep in mind, there's a right side and a left side, and the way to tell is you want the SW-MOTECH logo from the bottom reading up, okay? This is how it's going to be. One over here and one at the bottom. Let's attach the top part. We have a spacer and a bolt, and this bolt is going to require some Loctite, medium strength. Right here seems to be the best position so that the bottom hole also lines up. For the bottom mount, we have a spacer that goes right inside, and then the guard, and then the bolt that they provide. Once you put the bolt in, remember, there's the second spacer that you have to put in behind the frame. Okay, so it goes right here. It goes right here. Right there. And now we need to push this through to the other side. Don't forget we have the second spacer to put over here. This part gets a little bit tricky. It would be better if you had somebody to help you, but as you can see, you can still do it with one person. While holding the spacer on this side, use a mallet to drive the bolt in. And now the spacer is held in place by the bolt. Now we can attach the spacer that they provided. And we are ready to attach the left side guard. Don't forget to put Loctite. And the lower mount. Then the washer goes on, and the nut. This does not require any Loctite. Now that we have everything in place, we want to make sure that the guards are in the final position before we torque everything down. The position that I chose is I wanted it to be parallel with the bike frame, as you can see. The bolt over here is 7 foot-pounds. And this bolt up here is 15 foot-pounds. Repeat the same thing on the other side. And now we need to torque this to 32 foot-pounds. This is a 19 millimeter on this side, and you have a 17 millimeter on the other side. So if you had somebody to help you, that would be great. If not, you can reach over and just hold it steady while you tighten this. There we go. Okay, let's reinstall the cover. For this cover, you see this tab right here? This slides in right there. Okay, you'll feel it engage. It goes right behind it. There. See? Now it's caught. It won't fly off. Do the same thing on the other side and install the engine cover. Come in from the front at an angle and then tilt it backwards. A note about reinstalling the engine cover over here. Mind you, this is plastic. It has a little bit of give, and we need that to our advantage because you see this bolt right here? It sticks out a little bit further than the original one. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you tuck this in behind it. And like I said, it's plastic, it has a little bit of give, and you can realign everything and install the bolts. And the last piece to install is the ankle guard. Let's remove the plastic protection over here. And let's take a look together to see how they look on the bike. All right, so here's an overview of the final product. And this is what it looks like from the rider's perspective. Now that we have the engine guards installed, the next project is going to be to install these offset highway pegs.